Hey everyone, it's Matt with EquiPredict Analytics. Thanks for watching. In this video, we're going to be covering the artificial intelligence industry and provide you guys sort of an analysis, lower risk entry, and a forecast. In this particular case for AIQ, we'll get to the dates on that. We had a reader or subscriber here at the channel reach out to us about sort of investing in artificial intelligence stocks in 2025, and we will cover that. And just briefly, if you're enjoying some of the content we're providing here at the channel, please do subscribe. You can also head over to our website, EquiPredict.com. We've got a whole bunch of information over there regarding market forecasting, and you can certainly sign up to our free EquiPredict forecast that we send out quarterly to our readers. So you can head over to EquiPredict.com to pick that up. So first of all, I just want to point out that we're going to be covering AIQ because there really is no, in the financial markets, there's no industry that's set in stone yet regarding artificial intelligence. So it's obviously nested within the information technology sector. But one of the ways to get a feel for how artificial intelligence is faring is to go right to a couple of the major ETFs, one of which we've already done a forecast for. I think it was last year for bots. In this particular case, we're going to use AIQ only because, technically speaking, if you're looking at the charts, it's actually looking healthier. It's outperforming slightly. The bots ETF, the volume per day, the average volume per day is higher. It's around just over 600,000 shares per day, which isn't too bad, pretty liquid. But if you want to find other ETFs that are AI related, you can certainly go just on the internet, World Wide Web, search for it. And you're going to pull up charts like these where it gives you some information. One thing to be aware of, you want to be looking for, in our opinion, the ETFs that have a lower fee. BOTS is a lower fee ETF than AIQ. So, are you giving up some of the gains to fees with AIQ? Possibly. But I do know that BOTS is a slightly lower fee than AIQ. But nonetheless, we're going to be focused on that one. So the first chart, we're going to kind of hark back to our roots for our folks who on the channel here have been subscribed for some time. Our roots back over to Earnings Elite, where we kind of talk about lower risk entries. And what you're going to find here is that a couple things are going on. First, whenever you have price that has gotten overextended from a moving average like this, this is the 50-period moving average down here. Okay, I'll circle that. And this is February's price bar. Now, one thing with price action right now, I think with these high frequency trading firms, it's hard to determine or sort of take a cue for what's going to happen when you just look at a price bar like this. This is a monthly chart of AIQ, by the way. And that instantly to the eye looks pretty bearish, that, oh, okay, well, we've closed closer to the bottom where we nearly opened. But if you head actually back here to this right here, which was, I believe, 2020 or 21, you can see that was a pretty bearish monthly bar right there. But look what happened. You had several months, almost a year of a nice solid run to the upside. And I think that's likely what's going to be playing out for the majority of 2025 for the artificial ETFs, artificial intelligence ETFs like AIQ and some of the larger, names in artificial intelligence. So just keep a lookout for that. Don't get too locked into kind of pure price action. Use your underlying indicators. But right now, this looks more like a pause bar to me before another run. So just something to keep in mind. This is sort of a breakout point, which we'll kind of cover here in just a moment. So let me just clear this off. We'll go to the kind of second chart here. So this is a volume by price chart. Again, most platforms come with this, and what you're going to notice is that obviously this is your volume down here. This is your price action, and this bar here tells you this is volume by price, meaning this is your profile where this is a measure of the volume of shares traded at a particular price. So right now, what you can see is going all the way back to 2021. You can see that between $32 and $34 per share, you've had the highest volume in that particular range. So you can argue that if price does make it back down to around $34, $35 per share, it's likely to meet some sort of resistance here in falling through it. Likely this could be an area of support. And it's not uncommon for these things to collapse, but this is a pretty good, another indicator, another piece of evidence that tells you that somewhere between $32 and $34 per share, AIQ is likely to find some support. You might have trading range here, but you can actually see right here is likely where most of this is being picked up was March of 2024. You had a ton of heavily between March and August of 2024, you had a ton of volume right in this particular area. So if we do make it back down to, again, $34 per share, again, look for that to be sort of an area of support. and possibly reversal pivot point where it starts to gain momentum back to the upside. Now, as for sort of a short-term forecast, this is what we want. This is what we're putting out for, for AIQ. What you're going to likely find is right now, just for folks who are kind of newer to the EquiPredict model, this model doesn't forecast the magnitude of the move. So, in other words, what you're not going to see is basically the price necessarily follow this track where it gets back down here to around $37 per share and launches itself up to $42 per share. This is the behavior of what we expect the stock to behave, how the stock is likely to behave once we reach this particular point in time. So I hope that kind of makes sense, that the EquiPredict forecasting model is a model that forecasts behavior based on the calendar and not price action. So I hope that kind of makes sense. So what we're seeing is essentially a forecast where sometime right before or around March 10th, this is bearish price action that's going on right now. You can kind of see that. Looks pretty violent. Okay, we have closings down at the bottom of each one of these price action bars, the OHLC bars. Likely this is to continue or at least consolidate for some time before it reaches March 10th. At that particular time, we have a very high probability, north of 90%, that we're going to see bullish bias kind of kick into the stock up until the last week of April. So that's a good sign for folks who are in the artificial intelligence space, who are looking to invest in that. Is it going to rocket back up to $42 per share during that particular period of time? It's hard to tell, but likely this is going to be a period of bullish bias right here until, again, once we get to the sort of the second week of March, up until the last week of April. So just keep that in mind, keep that on your watch list, and look for maybe a possible period of consolidation for those who are more short-term traders into the end of April. So I hope that all makes sense. I hope that helps you with your artificial intelligence trading. Good luck, and do be careful out there. Take care.